All right, that's right. Money, 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 money. We're talking about Don Trump, and he got it. And he's fixing to start spending it. And here in Florida, look for the ads there. Said that they're going to be unconventional. Who would have thunk it? Donald Trump being unconventional. Right. All right, 407-774-8255 is the number. As I said, Donald Trump reveals that he does have a concealed weapons permit. He revealed today. He also said that he does pack heat. Not all the time, but he does pack it. And it for protection, to protect himself. And Ben Carson has taken this issue to a higher philosophical level, if you will, when he said this past week that if Germans, if Hitler and the Nazis hadn't taken the guns away from Germans, including, of course, Jews, then the Holocaust would have been a whole different thing. And I dare say the man is right about that. Jews would have been able to have armed resistance groups who could have been attacking the Nazis from within, and I guarantee you they'd have been doing it, and they'd have been doing it very effectively, too. But when your weapons are gone, there ain't much left you can do when you got guys out there with burp guns and Lugers, right? And tanks. All right, we got Aubrey Kahn of Firm Foundation Home Inspections on the line, and don't forget, folks, he's got a brand new show called Ask the Experts, and you can catch that live every Saturday now on FM 105.5 and AM 660 The Answer at 1 p.m. Aubrey Kahn, how you be?
I'm great. Good evening, my friend. How are you doing?
Good evening. Very well, thank you, sir.
I'm glad to hear that. I hear you ranting on about the amendment. Do you remember what Vice President Joe Biden said when he was put in charge of the firewall? What did they call it? A gun control task force.
Right, yes. This was after one of the previous mass shootings.
Yes. Do you remember what he said in his speech?
No, tell me. I mean, he's all... you're talking about the thing about the shotgun or something like that?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
We need new gun laws because we haven't got the time to enforce existing gun laws.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, don't it? I mean,
that's far for Joe, isn't it?
Don't you just want him to get into the presidential race? I mean, could have had such great material.
No, please. Can you imagine what he would do to our foreign relations?
Well... It would be very entertaining just for him.
It wouldn't be fence mending, that's for sure.
Oh, you got a fact there. That's right. All right, good point, Aubrey. Miss you tonight. We'll see you next week, maybe?
Yeah, have a great week. God bless.
You do the same. Bye. And you're doing a great job on that Ask the Expert show.
Thank you, sir.
All right. And it is a call-in show, folks. If you have a question about anything around your house, from the roof to the foundation and all points in between, these fellows will be able to help you out on it. And that's, once again, that's Ask the Experts, Saturdays on FM 105.5 and AM 660 The Answer at 1 p.m., 1 to 3. And then, of course, you have the Arms Room guys who take you from 3 to 5. So it's good live radio on Saturday afternoons, and, of course, you got some good live radio here on Sunday night as well. Okay. As I said, Ben Carson had made that comment about the Holocaust. He's been taking a lot of heat about it. He was asked about it today in an interview, also on Fake the Nation, after Donald Trump was interviewed. These were taped interviews, and and Dr. Carson pointed out what we've been saying on this show before. Now, he was asked, and he has, and there were some unsureness about Dr. Carson and his stance on the Second Amendment, because in the past he had supported a ban on armor-piercing bullets and assault weapons, or at least large magazines, I think, something to do with assault weapons. And he was asked about that today, and he said, well, that was before I understood exactly what the Second Amendment was all about. And he went on to say that the Second Amendment is all about protecting us from a tyrannical government or an invading government. And one of the commentators who later, was giving reaction to the interview said it was a veiled threat. Well, that's right, if you want to look at it that way. But I'll pull the veil back. It is a threat that if you people in government think that you're going to do away with the Second Amendment and the Constitution, you're going to have to pry them guns out of our cold, dead hands to steal a line from Charlton Heston. And you're going to have to dodge some lead in the process of doing it. It will be our obligation to deliver that welcome to you in the form of hot lead flinging at you. It will be our obligation to do that. Not only is the Second Amendment in there to protect us, the Second Amendment is there to protect the Constitution and our form of government. And it put that obligation on us. It is our obligation to do this. And when bozos like Barack Obama come around, if they need a veiled threat, well, then maybe we'll have to give them one. Or maybe we'll just give it to them unveiled. That, mister, if you think you're going to postpone the elections, you better think twice. Because that will be a declaration of war. That would be treasonous. And that would be in violation of your oath as the President of the United States to uphold the Constitution. So, we don't need to veil the threat. The purpose of the Second Amendment, according to the people who wrote it, is fourfold. And I'll keep saying this until that you got to pry the words out of my cold, dead mouth. And that is, first and foremost, to protect us from our own government should it displace our Constitution and become a tyrannical government. 2, it is to help protect this nation and its Constitution and its form of government from invaders from other nations or even outer space, wherever the heck they come from. 3, it is to provide us personal protection, like Donald Trump packing heat, like you or anybody else who wants to protect yourself and your property from people who would do you harm and or steal what you have. Number 4, last of all, it is to help you provide food for yourself and your family in the form of hunting. And so all these arguments are, why do you need an AK-47 or an AR-15 to go hunting with? Well, that just shows anybody that says that they don't know what the heck they're talking about, that they are an ignorant buffoon when it comes to the Second Amendment. Without the Second Amendment, we got nothing. As a matter of fact, we will end up most likely dead. Either at the hands of our own government, at the hands of an invading government, or at the hands of some gang who wants what we got. Which is why, obviously, there are forces who wish to disarm us. Which brings us to tonight's Who Said That quote. Now, I want somebody, folks, you guys out there who know you're real good at this stuff, and you can probably win this one easy. I want somebody who's not won before at all, or who has not won in a long time, to have a chance to win tonight's Who Said That quote. If for no other reason than I want to keep saying it a few times, because I need it to sink in. Who said, folks, and by the way, this is real easy to play if you've never played this game before. We read the quote, and you try to figure out who said it. If you do figure that out, you will win a $20 gift card to Cafe Positano, only the finest Italian restaurant in all of Central Florida, and a My Liberty Threads t-shirt made in America with great American, proud American slogans on them. MyLibertyThreads.com is where you can find those shirts. And by the way, if you'd like to make a reservation at Cafe Positano, you know, the holiday season is coming up, and there's always birthdays in the family and things like that. Cafe Positano does take reservations. They have fine dining. They have casual dining area. They got a full bar. They can put you anywhere in the restaurant you want to sit. And the reservation number is 407-774-8080. That's Cafe Positano, which is about 4 miles west of I-4 on State Road 436. 407-774-8080. And any night of the week, you might find the American Adversaries down there chowing down. And, of course, you'll want to catch our pizza eating challenge going on there, too. And, by the way, James Hall, who played the trumpet at our challenge, our spaghetti eating challenge, is now got several gigs down there. So if you could have caught him last Thursday, you'll be able to catch him there this Thursday as well. Great smooth jazz sounds by James Hall. So, having said all that, if you are the first caller and you don't get it right and no one else does, you will be declared the winner. Who said, "There's a plot in this country to enslave every man, woman, and child. Before I leave this high and noble office, I intend to expose this plot"? Let me read that again. There's a plot in this country to enslave every man, woman, and child. Before I leave this high and noble office, I intend to expose this plot. If you've never won before, you haven't won in a really long time, give us a call at 407-774-8255 if you think you know who said that. And the threats, to think that we live in an age where the threat of our own government becoming a tyrannical force, or that no one would ever invade the United States, it's naive. It's happening right before our very eyes. Our government is becoming tyrannical. Just look at the House of Representatives, right? The reason John Boehner is in whatever he's in, turmoil, trouble, whatever you want to call it, is because he was running the House of Representatives like a tin-pot dictator. And then, of course, you have Barry Obama-san, right? Trying to turn the United States, the executive branch, into a form of soft tyranny, if you will. And then, of course, you have the Islamic State and the threat of Islam itself. And believe you me, they're not just targeting Israel. They're not just targeting the United States. They're targeting the whole doggone world.